Welcome friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Myself Professor Parag Savsani from Department of Civil Engineering, Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. In previous session, we have discussed about the theodolite traversing, plane table surveying and any other methods of area calculation and different techniques used in surveying. In this video, we are discussing about the tachyometry. What is the tachyometry? What is the difference between the theodolite and tachyometer? What are the uses of tachyometry? How can we determine the constant that are used in the tachyometric survey? We are also learned about the tachyometric methods and different cases for calculation of horizontal and vertical distances. We are also discussing about the topics like introduction, purposes of tachyometry surveying, principles of tachyometry surveying, instruments, area constant, methods of tachyometry, analytic lens, substance bar, field work in tachyometry, reduction of reading, error and precisions. Now, first question arise in our mind is that what is tachyometry? Tachyometry is a method of measuring the both horizontal and vertical distances of point without use of any sophisticated technology like optical means. We are also known that in the present era some of the digital instruments and satellite mapping are also available, but in the tachyometry we are not use that types of digital techniques. In the traditional techniques, we are used tapping, pacing and odometer. But that type of measurement techniques are also we are not using in tachyometry. It is less accurate than the most modern method of surveying. But still, for getting the practical value in topographic mapping, where the high-end technology is not available, we can use the tachyometry. Tachyometry is defined as a procedure of obtaining horizontal distances and differences in elevation based on optical geometry of instrument deployed. Now, one another question arises in our mind that the tachyometry term comes from where? That is the generally Greek mean, right? That is the Greek meaning is quick measure. It is also called as stereo surveying or tachymetry or tachymetry or telemetry. That is the branch of angular surveying in which the horizontal and vertical distance of points are obtained by the optical means as opposed to the ordinary slower process of measurement by tape or chain. This method is very rapid and convenient. This method is generally used where the obstacle such as deep and broken ground, deep ravines, stretches of water, swamps and chaining is difficult or impossible. The primary object of tachyometry is the preparation of contoured maps of our plan requiring both the horizontal as well as vertical control also. On the surveys of higher accuracy, it is provide check on distance measured with the tape. It is also useful for cross-checking our measurement distances. Tachyometry is a system of rapid survey by which the positions, both horizontal and vertical, of points on the Earth's surface relatively to one another are determined. But we cannot use chain or tape or a separate leveling instrument. Now, one another question arises in our mind that what is the difference between theodolite and tachyometer? Generally, we are used the theodolite as a tachyometer, but that is some of the differences. When we are using the theodolite, we are measuring the horizontal and vertical angle. But in the tachyometer, we are also measure the horizontal and vertical angle, but we are getting the reading in vertical and horizontal distances format by using the formulas. In theodolite survey, distances are measured by chain or tap, or in tachyometry survey, direct measurement of distances are possible. It is suitable for plain or airy areas with less obstacle, but the tachyometer is suitable for broken ground and more obstacle are in place where we have to survey. More stations are required in theodolite survey, but in case of tachyometer, we should not have to measure the reading, or we should not have to get the traverse reading or the any different types of angular reading. So we only want to get the distance and elevation, so that stations are less. Now we are moving to uses of tachyometry survey. Convenient to use in rough country like steep and uneven ground. Generally, in the most of cases, the territorial area of the countries are rough. It is the rapid and less costly because in the tachyometry, more costly equipments are not used. Locating contour and filling in a topographic survey. Useful in survey of large area with less accuracy. Preparation of topographic map which requires both elevation and horizontal distances. Survey work in difficult terrain where direct methods are inconvenient. Detail filing used as a telescopically did in plane tabling. Right? When we are using the LEDAT for plane table survey, we are measuring the distance and plotting that our point. But in case of tachyometry survey, we can directly represent our points and lines in the maps. Reconnaissance survey for highway and railways, etc. Reconnaissance survey for highways, railways, etc. Checking of already measured distances. Hydrographic surveys in establishing the secondary control. Used to complete the field survey required for photographic mapping. Profitably used in differential profile and indirect trigonometrical leveling. Now, what are the purposes or the object of tachyometry? Preparation of topographical maps and contour plans. Determining the differences of elevation between points. Carry lines of levels where low order accuracy is required. Measure the lengths of traverse line. Compile planimetric and topographic maps. Complete the field survey for photographic map. Locate details for traverse and hydrographic survey. Check the more accurate tape distance to uncover error or mistakes in previous measurements. Establish secondary control. Hydrographic survey. Survey in difficult terrain. Now, what are the purposes and limitations of tachyometry survey? It is considered to be rapid and accurate in rough country and has been widely used by engineers in location surveys for railways, canals and reservoirs. Whenever survey of higher accuracy are carried out, tachyometry provides a good check on distance measured with a tape or chain. Now we are moving to the limitations. It is the less accurate compared to chaining. Poor performance in case of larger area. Errors may occur in stadia reading at a farthest point or farthest distances. Inconvenience in stadia reading if obstruction in line of sight. Instrument is used for tachyometric survey. A tachyometer is a transit theodolite fitted with a stadia diaphragm and analytic lens. The stadia diaphragm consists of one stadia hair above and below the horizontal crosshair. The stadia hair are kept in same vertical plane. Next is a stadia rod. For shorter distances up to 100 meter, ordinary leveling staves may be used. For greater distance, stadia rod 3 to 5 meter in length are generally used. Systems of tachyometry measurement. There have been two systems are classified for tachyometric measurement. One is the steady air system, second is the tangential air system. The steady air system may further be divided into the two parts, fixed air method and movable air method. Now we are moving to the principles of tachyometry. The principle of tachyometry is based on the property of isosceles triangle, where the ratio of the base from the apex and the length of the base is always constant. This principle is called as isosceles triangle principles. Now see in the picture is that what is the stadia method. In this method employs the sighting of telescope of an instrument in reading a small angle along a vertical plane and determine the length is the angle substance on a graduated. The word stadia donates 600 Greek units for 184 rod held at 184 meter 93 centimeter 606 feet and 9 inch by the vertical on a distance point present D. The term is now applied to crosshairs and rod is used to making measurement as well as to the method itself. The equipment of stadia measurement consists of a telescope with two horizontal levels called stadiairs and a graduated rod called a stadia rod. Distances can be measured very rapidly by stadia method. Now, what is the tachyometer? Tachyometer is generally transit theodolite fitted with a stadia diaphragm. Generally, all the theodolites have a stadia diaphragm. Now, there is a picture of the different types of stadia diaphragm commonly used. Now, first type of stadia diaphragm generally used in our theodolite. Sometimes that type of diaphragm are also used. Stadia is a tachyometric form of distance measurement that relies on a fixed angle intercept. Now, what is the stadia method? See in the figure is that is the some observation point and that are the different staff readings A2, B2, A1, B1 and AB. That is the upper end, lower end, that is the middle end reading. So, from the figure, we can conclude that two rays OA and OB equally inclined to the central ray OC. Let A1 B1, A2 B2 and AB are the staff intercept, that is the staff intercept. The difference between the upper air and lower air reading is called the staff intercept. OC2 is equal to A2 B2 and OC1 is equal to A1 B1 and OC is equal to A upon B. Constant K, now we can find the constant, that is that proportion value is equal to constant. So that value is gives from the that angular measurement and we are applying the sine rule. As per the sine rule, that value we can get 1/2 cot beta by 2 because that is the beta by 2. That is the right angle triangle formula. This constant is entirely depend upon the magnitude of angle beta. If the magnitude of angle beta is increased, then our reading is also increased. In actual practice, observation may be made with either horizontal line of sight or with inclined line of sight. In latter case, the staff may be kept either vertically or normal to the line of sight. First, the distance elevation formula for the horizontal side should be derived. In that case, we are deriving the distance and elevation for the horizontal line of sight. Now, see in the figure is that there have been some of the notations has been given and their illustration are also given in at bottom. That are the phenomena was created during the our tachyometric surveying procedure when the line of sight is horizontal and our staff is also inclined or parallel to, perpendicular to our line of sight perfectly. Now A, C and B, the points cut by the three line of sight corresponding to the three wires. Small b, c and a are the top axial and bottom hairs of diaphragm, because as per the lens principle we are seeing our picture inversely. Now AB is equal to I, interval between the steady air. I is the interval between steady air. S is equal to staff intercept. F is equal to focal length of objective. Right? That is the focal length of objective. Now F1 is equal to horizontal distance from staff to optical center of objective, and F2 is equal to horizontal distance of cross wires from O. D is equal to distance from vertical axis to the instrument. Now M is equal to center of instrument. That is the vertical axis of instrument, right? M is the vertical axis of instrument in our case. Now we are considering the rays BOB and AOA pass through the optical center. BOB and AOA. BOB and AOA. That two rays are passing through the optical center. So the F1 upon F2 is equal to S upon I. That is a simple formulation of two isosceles triangle. So the comparison of Z triangle. Again, the F1 and F2 conjugate focal lenses we have from the lens formula. That is the formula of lens. 1 upon F is equal to 1 upon F2 plus 1 upon F1. But we have the value of F1 upon F2. So first we have to separate the FF1. Right? We have to separate the two terms FF1. So we have to divide whole formula we have by FF1. After dividing the whole formula, we can get this formula. F1 is equal to F1 upon F2 multiply F plus F. After putting the values into that formula, F1 upon F2 is equal to S upon I. So we can get the another formula. F1 is equal to S upon I into F plus F. The horizontal distance between the axis and staff is D is equal to F1 plus D. The distance D is equal to, that is the small distance D, and that is the optical distance from the center of objective to the our staff. After putting the values of F1 into this equation, we can get the formula for the distance when staff are at horizontal with respect to our instrument and made perpendicular angle with respect to our line of sight. Now we are further simplifying our formulas. We are getting the term to simplify this formula. F upon I is equal to K and F plus D is equal to C. That are the two constants. That constants are same for all phenomena during the measurement process. The constant K is known as the multiplying constant, and F plus D is equal to C is known as additive constant. So one another question arises in our mind, that how can we determine the constant K and C? The values of multiplying constant K and additive constant C can be computed by the following methods. There have been two methods are generally used for determining the constant K and C. In this method, additive constant C is equal to F plus D is measured from the instrument, while the multiplying constant K is computed from field instrument. So we can get the value of F and D because we have our instrument is available and that distance is very smaller, and we can calculate by our simple measuring techniques. In the second method, both constants are determined from the field observation. As per the first method, we are measure the distance of F and D from the instrument and field constant K is given from the field instrument. For that, we have to focus the instrument to the distant object and measure along the telescope the distance between the objective and cross hair. The distance between the instrument axis and the objective is variable in case of external focusing telescope. F1 is equal to distance between object glass and staff comparatively large, and F2 distance between objective glass and crosshair when F1 is equal to 0, so F is equal to F2. Measure accurately the distance between object glass and the vertical axis of instrument. C is equal to F plus D. To calculate the multiplying constant K, measure known distance D1 and take an intercept S1 and put that value into our distance elevation formula of tachyometry. D is equal to Ks plus C. We have available C, D1 and S1, so we can get the separating the term K and we can get the values of K. In the second method, we are getting both the constants. We are determining both the constant by using the field observation. Measure a line about 200 meter long on very level ground and drive a peg at some interval, say 50 meter. Keep the staff on pegs and observe a corresponding staff intercept with horizontal side. Knowing the values of D and S for a different points, number of simultaneous equations can be formed by substituting values of D and S in equation. D is equal to Ks plus C, that is the common formula for distance in our tachyometry case. Now we are getting the two formulas by adopting the different readings of D1 S1 and D2 S2. After subtracting 1 to 2, we can get that formula K is equal to D2 minus D1 upon S2 minus S1. Substituting the value of K in equation number 1, we get that types of reading. So we can get both the reading of value of K and C. We also put the value of K in our first formula directly also, and we can get both the value. Telescope used in stadia surveying are generally three types. Generally, three types of telescope is used in stadia surveying. The simple external focusing telescope, the external focusing analytic telescope, the internal focusing telescope. A tachyometer must essentially incorporate following features. Generally, the tachyometer has a given below capability for measurement of different readings. The multiplying constant should have a nominal value of 100 and the error contained in this value should not exceed 1 in 100, 1 in 1000. The axial horizontal line should be exactly midway between the other two lines. The telescope should be truly analytic. The telescope should have powerful, having a magnification of 20 to 30 diameter. Generally, the aperture of objective should be 35 to 45 mm in diameter to have a sufficiently bright image. For small distance, ordinary leveling staff may be used. For a greater distance, stadia rod may be used. Generally, stadia rod having a 3 to 5 meter length. Stadia rod graduated in 5 mm for a smaller distance, while for longer distance the rod may be graduated in 1 centimeter. Now stadia constant. The distance from the center of the instrument to the principal focus, the quality is composed of the local focal length f, which remains constant, and the distance c from the center of the instrument to the center of objective lens in the older instrument. C varies from about 0.18 to 0.43 meter. In present day surveying instruments, C may be considered 0.30 for external focusing telescope, 0 for internal focusing telescope, because the value of C doesn't comply because there should not have any analytic lens. Now that is the staff pictures that we should have to read. What are the differentiations and what are the reading notations in the staff? Each one black mark consists 1 centimeter thickness. One white mark also consists 1 centimeter thickness. So every 5 centimeter there have been some greater notifications. Now we are moving to the different system of tachyometry measurement. The various system of tachyometry survey may be classified as follows. The Stadia system consists of two sub-methods. One is the fixed air and another is a movable air method. Fixed air method is also called a Stadia method and movable air method is also called as a substance method. Second system is the non-Stadia system. In that system, generally based on the trigonometric leveling. First system is the tangential system and second system is the substance bar system. Or third measurement technique is measurement by means of special instrument. The principle common to all system is to calculate the horizontal distance between 2 points A and B and that distance is in elevation by observing. The angle at instrument A subtended by a known short distance along a staff kept at B and a vertical angle to B from A. Now we are moving to the fixed method. In this method, the angle of instrument A subtended by a known short distance along the staff kept at B is made with the help of stadia diaphragm having stadia wires at fixed or constant distance apart. The readings are on a staff corresponding to all three wires are taken. The staff intercept like a difference of the reading corresponding to top bottom stadia wires will therefore depend on the distance of staff from the instrument. When the staff intercept is more than the length of staff, only half intercept is read. For inclined side, reading may be taken by keeping the staff either vertical or normal to the line of sight. This is the most common method in tachyometry, and the same stadia method generally bears reference to these methods. Now we are moving to the movable air method. In this method, staff interval is kept constant by changing the distance between the stadia air. The target on staff are fixed at the known interval and the stadia airs are adjusted to bisect the upper target and the lower air also. Instruments used in this method are required to have a provision for measurement of the variable interval between the stadia airs. It is convenient to measure the stadia interval accurately. The movable air method is rarely used. Now we are moving to the substance method. In this method is similar to the fixed method, except that stadia interval is variable. Suitable arrangement is made to vary a distance between the stadia air as a set them against the two targets on the staff kept at the point under observation. In this case, the staff interval, like a distance between two targets, is kept fixed, while the stadia interval, the distance between stadia air, is variable. As in case of fixed air method, inclined side may also be taken. In this method, a bar of fixed length called substance bar is placed in a horizontal position. The angle subtended by the two target points corresponding to the fixed distance on substance bar at an instrumentation is measured. The horizontal distance between the substance bar and the instrument is computed from the known distance between the target and measured horizontal angle. Now we are moving to the tangential method. In this method, the stadia airs are not used, the reading being taken against the horizontal close air only. To measure staff intercept, two pointing of the instrument are therefore necessary. The necessity is measurement of vertical angles twice for one single observation. In this method, Reading at two different points on staff are taken against horizontal crosshair and corresponding vertical angles are also noted.